Something's fishy in the Sea of Galilee. We are 3 Sundays removed from Easter. This is the third Sunday of Easter season, and we're following the disciples after Jesus' resurrection. From the time that he was crucified, he rose from the grave on the Sunday morning, and the disciples began to coalesce. They began to group back together again, and Jesus began to appear to them in different situations. And in the Gospel of John, John tracks some of these appearances, and this is kind of the next one where Jesus appears to 7 of his disciples in a pretty particular way that is meant just for them, and it's kind of an inside joke. This is a reading from the Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. After these things, so after the resurrection and the appearance of Jesus to the disciples and then to Thomas, remember last week, doubting Thomas? Okay, after these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Galilee. And he showed himself in this way. Gathered there together were Simon Peter, Thomas, the twin, remember from doubting Thomas, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, who were James and John, and 2 others of his disciples, unnamed. Simon Peter said to them, "I'm going fishing." And they said to Simon Peter, "We'll go with you." They went out, they got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Think about that. You might have heard this from another story. Just after daybreak, Jesus stood on the beach, but the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Children, have you no fish?" And they answered him, "No." He said to them, "Cast the net to the right side of the boat, and you'll find some." So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because there were so many fish. The disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, "It's the Lord." When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on some clothes, because he was naked, and he jumped into the sea. That says it in the Bible. I'm just reading what's here. But the other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far off from the land, only about 100 yards off. When they had gone ashore, they saw a charcoal fire there, with fish on it and bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish that you have just caught." So Simon Peter went aboard and hauled the net ashore full of large fish, 153 of them. And though there were so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." Now none of the disciples dared to ask him, "Who are you?" because they knew it was the Lord. Jesus came, he took the bread, he gave it to them, and he did the same with the fish. This was now the 3rd time that Jesus appeared to the disciples after he was raised from the dead. The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. This is such a fun story because Jesus, you have to have a picture of Jesus where he is raised from the dead, and you have to know his mood. It's so important to kind of, in any of these Bible stories, especially like the Gospels, when we're talking about Jesus, what is his mood? How would you read this? Okay, Jesus, could we say that Jesus is joyful? Could we say that he is happy? Okay, that this ordeal is behind him, what he came to do is completed. He's pretty excited, and now he gets to appear to his friends and pop this surprise on them, right? That, hey, look, I'm here, okay? And so he shows up on the beach. But the real key in this story is that he does this with the disciples in the boat the same way that he invited them to follow him, okay? Particularly with Peter, James, and John. Those were the 3 men that he called first, and he did it by breaking their nets with a catch of fish, doing a miracle after a night of no fishing. He said, "Put your net down one more time." And they're like, "Are you serious? We've been out here all night. Haven't caught a thing." "No, we're done. Okay, I'm tired." He's like, "Give it one more try." "All right, throw it in, guys." So they throw it in, haul in this massive catch, this miraculous catch as it's called. And they bring these fish in and they realize that Jesus is who he says he is. And then he does it again as an inside nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Guys, it's me. A couple of the guys that are heading out to the boat, Jesus shows up to them. He's from the beach. I don't know why Peter's fishing naked. He had to put his clothes on. And then he jumps in the water. And then Jesus says, hey, bring some fish. And one really cool little detail in here is the writer says there was 153 fish. That tiny detail, why does that matter? It matters because the details matter to the authors. The details authenticate the story. This was like well documented. These guys talked about this. We caught 153 fish that day. Couldn't believe it, right? And then Jesus cooked us breakfast, okay? And he does these reminders. He just says, hey, it's me, it's me. And then he has a meal with them and he breaks the bread and he gives it to them. He gives thanks, he gives it to them. He breaks the fish, he gives it to them. Just like the Last Supper, just like the feeding of the 5,000, the bread and the fish, the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, right? So he's just like continually like, guys, it's me, it's me, it's me. We're going to continue on into Easter. We're going to hear more stories of Jesus and his time with the disciples in these 40 days after Easter in the next one.